What's going on, everybody? This is John Jake Gaming on the mic here, coming at you with a brand new episode of the FCS Dynasty here on NCAA 2006, and we kick things off here in year number 3, starting with the gameplay action here in week number 1, the opening week here in the NCAA season, man. College football season back here in NCAA 2006, so it should be a great episode. Few games on tap to go ahead and tickle that pickle a little bit, so make sure you go ahead, smack that like button, hit that subscribe button if you do happen to be brand new. And we start this episode off with Alabama A&M going on the road to take on the Morgan State Bears, two teams that finished towards the bottom in the national rankings back in year number 2, and both teams are going to be seeking to go ahead and try to start off a little bit faster than what we have saw in year number 2. As Nick Pruitt, he's going to try to launch a nuke potentially downfield, throwing over the middle, and it's a nice diving catch there. And it goes for a good first down. And it'll eventually lead to the Bulldogs to get into the red zone, where Nick Zewick is going to finish the job late in the first quarter, as Alabama A&M is going to strike first here in Baltimore, making it 7-0, as there's going to be plenty of points, I would imagine, here in this ball game. Morgan State, known for its offensive prowess, or at least putting up plenty of points on the board, but gotta give credit to this Bulldogs defense. They are starting to lock things down here early. A key interception is going to put the Bulldogs in pretty good field position here to possibly make this a multi-possession lead going into the second quarter already. So a great start for Alabama A&M here in year number 3, but they cannot do anything with the football, as a missed field goal will keep it 7-0 as of right now. And like I said, Morgan State, now led by Michael Nash, he's now going to take the snaps at the quarterback position. This is his first collegiate start of his college career. Going to get a nice throw over the middle. Helps that he's got some guys that could create some yards after the catch. As speaking of Michael Nash, how about a little bit of a quarterback sneak there to get their way into the end zone, and that does tie things up at 7 apiece there. But Alabama A&M will look to add points onto the board, as a direct snap to Michael Zewick is going to find his way into the end zone. Touchdown Alabama A&M, and that will go ahead and make it 14-7. At least with 50 seconds left to play in the first half here, as we got a great play on the outside. It's a foot race. Is he going to be gone? Yes, he is. Touchdown Bears, as Michael Nash is going to get his first passing touchdown here of year number 3 and of his collegiate career as well. And that is going to help keep things being close here. But in that second half, we're going to start seeing Alabama take over a little bit here, as Zewick, he's going to take the carry. Huge hole right up the middle, makes a guy miss. One man left to beat in the open field, and he cannot bring him down either. So Michael Zewick, he's going to get himself a hat trick in this game, and we're not even done yet. Bulldogs are going to take a 10-point lead, their biggest lead of this ball game so far. As now we'll see how Michael Nash can respond, seeing his guys down by 10, facing some incredible pressure there. That's Lonnie Baker, who already has 3 sacks in this game, and is going to make sure that, wow, he is going to make sure he's going to feel that pain. And that's going to force Morgan State to punt this football away, bringing it back in the hands of Michael Zewick, who's just having an absolute career day thus far. That's going to be rushing touchdown number 4. The Bulldogs, safe to say, are in absolute control here to start this season. The first game that we see here in year number 3. As we'll see if Morgan State can mount some kind of comeback and get themselves back into the game, as Michael Nash trying to throw the football on a play action, but taking a huge sack there as well. And that is even with a holding penalty that will ultimately get declined. So they do get a few more extra yards. So instead of it being 1st and 20, it ends up being a 2nd and 17. Still really not an ideal place that you want to be by any means, as Nash he's going to try to run with the football there, but he gets it stripped from his hands. Things aren't looking good for Morgan State here in the opener, playing against one of the lesser teams and still getting embarrassed. You absolutely hate to see it if you're a Morgan State fan. And Deion Kirby, this is his 3rd year coaching the team, and still not seeing that much progress, as we will end up seeing Nick Pruitt throw a beautiful ball in the corner of the end zone there. Nice protection, as it leaves just enough time to identify the one-on-one matchup, and just made a throw that allows his receiver to go out and make a play, and we certainly saw that. So 38-14 in favor of Alabama A&M, as Morgan State are going to get the football once again, but running into some trouble once again though, as that is going to be the 3rd turnover of this entire ball game so far. And Alabama A&M already dominating here in the second half. How about 5 touchdowns for Michael Seawick? We're going to see it right there. Another score for the A&M running back, who just continues to build on what has been a phenomenal day for the senior tailback, as it makes it 45-14. This game was close going into halftime. We now have witnessed 28 unanswered points, but it's not going to be all bad though for Morgan State, as Michael Nash is going to get a great ball out to Donovan Riggs there, as that will push the wide receiver to over 100 yards on the day. He has been a bright spot in what's been a difficult home opener for Morgan State, as Michael Nash trying to escape the pocket, but Solomon Thomas, he is going to drop him off in the backfield, and that is going to make it 4th down, where Morgan State, they have to go ahead and they try to go for the field goal, but it's no good. And second half ends up being the ultimate difference that we see in this ball game, as after those 28 unanswered points for the Bulldogs, Alabama A&M, they simply do not look back, as they are going to go ahead and extend their winning streak dating back to last season. They now have a 3-game winning streak thanks to this victory. But now we go ahead and jump into the game of the week that we got going on. We got North Carolina A&T State. They go on the road to take on the number 15 team in college football, the Akron Zips, up in the Rubber Bowl. So should be a very intriguing matchup. Both teams, they did not make the FCS playoffs, but particularly North Carolina A&T, they ended up being a squad that was very close to making it as an at-large bid, despite only finishing 6-5 overall. And now they have the opportunity to make a pretty big statement here early in this season. But Akron, they're also looking to get back into the playoffs and receiving more attention as number 15 team in college football. As game of the week, we'll see Lee Corso select the Akron Zips, and to start this game out, North Carolina's A&T, they look like they showed up to play. That's for sure. They're going to get them to a 4th and 28. So we're more than halfway through this first quarter, and we haven't seen anybody yet. But one interesting development that I do want to talk about though is that A&T State, they actually end up starting the senior quarterback Tim Byers. There was a quarterback competition battle in spring football, and Smoke James, one of you guys' custom prospects, true freshman, was pushing Tim Byers, but Smoke James, I guess, was not able to really seize the job, and since it was close, they did end up going with the senior, and the senior isn't doing so hot, throwing an interception right there. You don't like to see that from your experienced senior quarterback, and Akron is the type of team that could very well make you pay for it as well if you give those kinds of mistakes, as we'll see if A&T State can get himself back on track here as we got a screen to the left-hand side as Jones is going to deliver a nice ball, able for his receiver to catch it, turn it upfield quickly, and sure enough, Akron will score a touchdown off of the interception. The Zips will go ahead and take a 7-0 lead early. Matter of fact, they're going to try to build on this lead as a 3-and-out gets it into the hands of Marcus Subar, and Subar is a dangerous man who's going to take it all the way to the end zone. Touchdown, Akron. And even though the offensive production has been similar, we see a 14-0 lead as Tim Byers going to try to get his guys going here, as looks like Dante Randolph is going to come down and make the catch. That will get him to about the edge of the Akron logo. We'll see if Tim Byers can get another good pass, but he's going to get intercepted, and not only that, it's going to be taken back all the way to the crib. Touchdown, Akron, as Richard McCollum is going to get his 3rd interception of his collegiate career in a dominating game so far for Akron, up 21-0. We'll see if this North Carolina A&T squad, can they get something going on offense, as Travis Baker will at the very least get a nice ball down the sideline, able to make a nice play on the football, but that drive does end up stalling as well, and Subar is just absolutely doing his thing right there. He was not initially included on the Heisman watch list when we were doing the preview of season number 3, but maybe we need to have a conversation about that, because he is having a pretty nice game in what is going to be the game that's going to have the most impact, I think, on the FCS playoffs when we're looking back at this here in week number 1. As Dante Randolph, he's going to try to get the first points on the board, and this will be the spark that the Aggies have desperately needed, as North Carolina A&T, they finally get their first touchdown of this game, so that cuts it to just an 11-point game here. So, the Aggies, they're trying to get back into this, and, Akron are going to force to punt the football away, 3-and-out, and they kick it right back to Dante Randolph, who's already got 1 touchdown in this game so far. How about we go into a Drake song, because we go back to back, and the Aggies are right back in the game, only down by 4. And how about, instead of being down, how about seizing the lead, as the ensuing possession, able to pick off Tyrus Jones. And all of a sudden, North Carolina A&T, keep in mind, we have not seen this team score any offensive touchdowns yet in this football game. They suddenly are going to go ahead. They have the lead, and it's 24-21. Now, 4th quarter, Tyrus looking to try to lead his team back ahead, and Subar is going to get open once more, and the All-American is going to run away from his defense. 71-yard touchdown pass. That's why he was an All-American going into this preseason, making big-time plays. That's what you got to do when you're a big-time player, as that puts Akron ahead in the game of the week. Tyrus looking for the potential dagger, but instead, North Carolina, they are going to remain alive. And with 3:51 left to play, instead of maybe at worst settling for a field goal and ensuring that they don't lose off a touchdown, now their defense really needs to come through. And on a 4th and 17, they're going to try to throw it towards the end zone. It's going to be all or nothing. Ball's in the air, and it's going to be deflected away at the last second. Looks like he was looking for... That could have been Dante Randolph. I didn't get a full picture of his number, but that being said, though, Akron, they are actually going to survive. They are going to win the week 1 game of the week here to start the 3rd season of this FCS Dynasty. as Akron will improve to 1-0, while North Carolina A&T, I love their fight, but they got to get a little bit more from their offense. Their offense only produced one singular field goal the entire game. And yes, this game was close, but you're not going to always get those contributions from your defense, from your special teams in terms of the scoreboard. The Aggies definitely have some things that they can work on moving forward in the season. So there is actually one more game left to show in this episode, and it's a kind of an in-state battle here to start the season as we go to Harvard Stadium here in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and a little bit of a rainy one as UMass is going to traverse the state of Massachusetts to take on the Crimson of Harvard, representing strong for the Ivy League, as both teams are getting ready to go ahead and take the field here. And UMass, we know that they got a really good defense once again, but can they be consistent enough to make it to the FCS playoffs? They were very close to being ranked in the AP Top 25, but you know, that loss to Rhode Island last year really had them stumbling, and Bettis Jackson, he's going to get things going for Harvard. Great blocking, by the way, as that will get Harvard into a scoring opportunity here. And in the second quarter, Jackson is going to take Harvard into the driver's seat. They will go ahead and take the lead. Jonathan Cooks, by the way, the fullback, he's actually one of your custom guys, by the way. And a 7-0 lead here as we jump later into the first half. UMass, they also like to lean on that ground game, and oh my goodness, was that a really fantastic run. You cannot really do anything better on that particular run. The blocking was perfect, and of course, you know that athlete that they got at the tailback position, he's going to go ahead and make some plays for sure, as now things are going to be all knotted up at 7 apiece, and this defense, well, it's only held Harvard to 7 points so far. You know, they're really starting to wake up here, as well as we're going to see some big plays from this defensive line. Brian Jackson really having a difficult time really getting much of anything going. Dude got absolutely lit up like a Christmas tree, as that will go ahead and bring up third down. And Harvard has not been very good on these third down conversions. 0 for 3 so far. Make it 0 for 4 as Daryl Williams is able to win his matchup. The defensive tackle, actually, he made a swim move inside that forced him to roll out of the pocket. And that's going to set up yet another UMass touchdown here, as beautiful throw from Grant Brown and his receiver, well, that receiver absolutely mossed his defender, shook his defender into the next dimension, by the way. And UMass starting to pull away here a little bit, jumping into the second half, makes it 20-7 as Harvard's trying to make some things happen here. We got a great throw down the sideline. Matt Boyd comes into the game. Their starting quarterback did end up getting shaken up and does not come back. So here's Matt Boyd trying to make sure that Harvard can pull a big win here to start this season. Top 50 win at home. That would be a good look for sure, but Matt Boyd did not see the extra defender incoming, as he was able to get in there completely untouched. And that will stall yet another Harvard drive. And here it is. UMass really starting to pull away. One man left to beat. And oh, Nate Larson. I thought I was going to get touchdown number 2, but they're going to actually call him down at the 1 singular yard line. That's crazy. Good job by that safety, being the last line of defense. Doing his job and at least making it a little bit harder for the Minutemen to get into the end zone. We'll see if they go to Nate Larson once again. They got him. They got his team down there. We'll see if they can reward him in kind. As we'll go ahead, we actually do see Larson make the carry. And that's going to be another touchdown for the Minutemen. 27-7 being the score. As now Boyd dropping back the pass, trying to respond right back and gets it off to the tight end. But man, that tight end, while he moved the ball a little bit, he's going to get lit up like a Christmas tree. Leads to 3rd and 8 as Boyd tries to throw it away, but instead it lands in the hands of William Pittman, who has not gotten onto that score sheet, at least until right now. We got this INT taken back to the crib. And the Minutemen, they are just having a good old time. Harvard, meanwhile, their stadium, you can hear it in the background. You can't hear anything, man. You could hear a mouse farting here at the moment. As we'll see if Harvard can actually pick up a 3rd down. They've really struggled with this today. 1 for 9. We'll see if Matt Boyd can change those fortunes. And sure enough, backup quarterback, man, actually comes out and makes a play. And that will get the Crimson to, looks like, about midfield. We'll see if they can build off that big play. Boyd, 3rd and 6, facing immense pressure, though, as Darrell Douglas gets his 3rd sack of the game. Now, usually it's a pretty good day for the defensive line if you could come out here and get 3 sacks in an entire game. This is an individual player that we're talking about, and he still have football left to play, but it looks like UMass are going to come out here. They are not going to take any prisoners, and I think that they also learned from their experiences last season. They took Rhode Island for granted, and they lost because of it, and that really dashed their hopes of winning, or at least getting to the FCS national playoffs. Minutemen don't do that here today. They end up winning 44-14 being the final score. We'll see if UMass finally cracks that top 25 here in year number 3. We'll just have to wait and see. So that does conclude all the gameplay for week number 1, but wanted to check in on a couple of things, particularly the Heisman Watch, as there was a small change that was made. We got a newcomer onto the Heisman Watch. Marty Subair, the sophomore from Akron, had that big time performance, 3 catches, 133 yards. Also had 2 total touchdowns that ultimately led Akron over the top as they avoided that narrow upset against North Carolina A&T and preventing the Aggies from jumping into the top 25 for the first time in year number 3, as they do end up getting off to a great start here. Akron now 1-0 on the year. As for the players of the week, though, we do end up seeing 2 guys from the Alabama A&M program get NCAA Player of the Week here for week number 1. On the offensive side of football, it was Michael Seawick, who ran all over the Morgan State defense. The sophomore tailback ends up with 19 carries, 175 yards to go with it, and 5 touchdown runs as well. He was unstoppable on the ground as they end up beating 48-28. But that is not the only player from this Alabama A&M team that is worth talking about, though. Luke Baker as well, the senior defensive lineman, had himself a career day on the road. He ends up notching 7 total tackles on the game, 5 of which were TFLs, and all of them happened to be sacks as well, making sure that this quarterback was absolutely harassed the entire time that he was in the pocket. So with no changes into the top 25, though, we do look forward to next week, as this will be the first episode here in season number 3, where we will have a full complement of games for you guys, and it's going to be a really exciting episode. I hope you guys tune in for the next one. But in the meantime, if you enjoyed the opening week here of year number 3 of the FCS Dynasty, I need you guys to go ahead and do me a massive favor. I need you guys to go ahead, smack that like button, hit that subscribe button as well if you do happen to be brand new to the channel. This is John Shake Gaming on the mic signing off. I'm hoping you're all out there having a good one. Take care, everybody.